How we feeling? There was no world in which I said no. Practically begged you.
It's your West End debut.
I haven't done a musical on stage since my senior year of high school doing Shrek the musical. So this is quite a different one than Shrek. It's just a little bit. Nobody lets me be funny a lot. I love to giggle.
You are very funny, and there's a lot of fun in this rehearsal room. I don't think anyone's ever heard this sung like this. I mean, you sing it just impeccably. It's incredible. It's a major achievement.
Thank you.
Acting-wise and vocally. And you're an icon as well to many.
It's a scary thought.
It's true, though. Yeah.
What a privilege. I mean, truly, to get to portray two really powerful Latinas in musical theater with Maria in West Side Story and now Eva Perón. It's like the stuff of dreams, really.
Yeah.
She said
it was supposed to be her big comeback.
Yeah,
Rachel Zegler, center stage at the legendary London Palladium, stepping into the role of Eva Perón for her long-awaited West End debut. The lights were bright, the cameras were rolling, the theater completely packed, and when that final curtain dropped, the crowd rose to its feet in what looked like a thunderous standing ovation. A total triumph, right? Well, not exactly.
He is weightless. He adds nothing as an actress. He might as well be a background character, a side character, but she is nothing special.
That sang in Zero Life Coach. She's got the ego of a box office smash hit and the ticket sales of a fire drill.
Rachel Zegler is weightless. I don't say this because of comments that she's made on social media. She can say what she wants. Doesn't help her case. She was one of the weakest aspects.
Because according to multiple backstage sources, that applause, it may have been completely staged. That's right. Insiders are now claiming that cast and crew members were instructed to stand and clap, no matter what. Not as a celebration of a flawless performance, but as a calculated move designed to create the illusion of success.
Oh, is he just doing the same thing again? I saw a video just now from the creator Matt Seiler, which I totally agree with, and I'll link it in the caption, where he's talking about how, it doesn't bother me when an artist's work looks like their other work. That's just called having an artistic voice. And I would take that even further and say that it's important to have some context about the style that Jamie Lloyd is working in. I would characterize Jamie Lloyd's work as following in the tradition of European Regie theater, a very specific, recognizable style or toolbox. I can see how it would feel a bit repetitive.
Some are even calling it one of the most orchestrated PR stunts in recent theater history. And once you start pulling at the threads, the whole thing starts to unravel.
Oh, that was so fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much.
Stay there, my friend.
Thank
you.
Thank you so much.
Rachel, you were amazing.
Congratulations.
My family's back there. Would you mind signing these for me?
Yeah, honey.
Loved you in Snow White. I work at Disney and DEI.
Oh,
Thank you for
wow.
all you're doing for representation.
Thank you, honey. Thank
you
you
so
for what
much.
you're doing. It's very important right now.
Absolutely.
I brought you a slip for you. Can I give it?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll take a picture. Thank you so much.
So incredible.
Thank you.
My absolute favorite actress.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank
Allegedly, a memo was circulated among production staff just days before opening night.
Rachel
In it,
Zegler is
cast
back
members
in the
were
news because
reportedly
her
instructed to
PR
lead the
team
applause
is
at
working
key moments,
overtime right
show
now to
visible
fix her
enthusiasm,
image because
and
so
most
many of these
importantly,
resurfaced
stand and
video
clap
clips
during
of her
the curtain call.
just make
Why?
her look really,
Because the
really
world was
bad.
watching.
What matters
This
here
wasn't
is
just a
perception.
premiere.
Who she actually is actually has little consequence on any of this. How she's perceived by the world. That's what matters.
Right.
And how she's
There's varying
perceived by the
degrees.
world is not good because she hasn't been able to escape these interview clips, which show a clear disdain for the company she works for, a clear disdain for the story in which she's been hired to help portray and tell. Who she is really has little bearing on any of this. At the end of the day, Disney doesn't care who she really is. I'm sure the people that love her, her friends and family, she's plenty nice to them. That's not what matters here.
It was a carefully stage-managed reboot of Rachel Zegler's crumbling public image. After months of backlash, social media blow-ups, and behind-the-scenes drama.
People are really mad
she
at
needed
Rachel
a win.
Zegler because of
But
the
here's the
actors
real
and writers
question.
strikes that are
Did she
happening in
actually earn
Hollywood.
one?
She just did an
Or
interview
did
where
the
she
production
demanded to have
fake it
her
all,
salary increase.
just to shield her from yet another public meltdown?
Of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
But considering she's making millions of dollars playing the role of Snow White, many became infuriated by her comments saying sarcastic things like she has the perfect attitude for a Disney princess, and she seems like a ball of sunshine.
Yeah, this girl doesn't really help the movie. The more she speaks, the less people want to watch it. And users in the comment didn't hold back. She's paid for a movie nobody asked for and still nobody wants. Yep, and another one, bro, she just blew up. Can she chill? She's been in like 3 movies. Exactly, just...
How
And
we
here's where
feeling?
it gets
There
even
was no
darker.
world in which I
Some
said
crew
no.
members
Practically, thank you.
reportedly didn't want to go along with it.
It's your
One
West End
anonymous
debut.
I
insider
haven't
put
done
it
a musical on
bluntly.
stage
It
since my
felt like we
senior
were
year
part
of
of
high school
cover-up.
doing Shrek musicals.
People were
So it was quite a different
uncomfortable,
one than Shrek.
but no one
Just a
wanted to
little
be the
bit.
one who didn't clap. If
Nobody
true,
lets me
this
be
wasn't
funny
just
a lot.
theater.
I love to
It was
giggle.
damage
You are very
control
funny, and there's a lot of fun
disguised
in
as
this rehearsal
celebration.
room.
And what happens
I don't
next
think anyone's ever
might be
heard
even
this song
more
like this. I
revealing.
mean, you sing it just impeccably. It's incredible. It's a major achievement,
Thank you.
acting-wise and vocally. And you're an icon as well to many.
It's a scary thought.
It's true, though. Yeah.
What a privilege. I mean, truly, to get to portray 2 really powerful Latinas in musical theater with Maria in West Side Story and now Eva Perón. It's like the stuff of dreams, really.
Yeah.
If you were just looking at the headlines the morning after the premiere, you'd think Rachel Zegler had pulled off the comeback of the decade.
I will say,
Major
when it comes
outlets
to
ran
you
glowing
can't fake
reviews.
chemistry.
One
It
called the
has to be a
performance
natural thing.
electrifying.
It's very hard
Another
to find
praised it
people
as a
that you're
bold
comfortable with, which is where the chemistry
Social
comes
media
from.
lit
It's
up with
an inherent
polished,
sense of comfort with
curated
your scene
images of
partner,
Zegler
and I had that with Tom
the crowd
immediately.
behind her,
All
clapping
of the
with what
scenes that we
looked
had to
like
do
genuine
together
admiration.
before
On
the day would really begin,
it
before
was a
shooting would
picture-perfect
start, we would
opening
rehearse
night.
with Francis.
But here's the
And
thing
we would
about
talk things
illusions.
through, what
They're
felt
designed
comfortable
to
coming out of our
distract
mouths.
you
A lot
from
of that
truth.
is credit to
Because
Michael
what most
Arndt and Mike
people didn't
Lassley, who
see
wrote our
were
script.
the quieter murmurs
But also just
beneath
to
the
Tom and
applause.
I reading
Audience
through
members
it and
described the
talking
energy
about what
in
made
the
us
room
comfortable,
as
what made
tense,
sense for the characters, because no one
like
knows your
everyone
character
was
better
waiting
than
for
you.
something to go
You're in
wrong.
their body every day. And it was very comfortable to settle into the body of Lucy Gray while Tom was in the body of Snow.
One TikTok even showed people quietly slipping out before intermission, their faces blank, confused. We're just plain bored. And behind the scenes? Sources say producers were glued to their phones all night, tracking live reactions, refreshing Twitter feeds, and monitoring PR fallout like their careers depended on it. Because in many ways, they did. This wasn't just a musical premiere, it was a full-blown reputation rescue mission. And when the stakes are that high, authenticity doesn't just fade, it gets pushed aside. Every clap, every standing ovation, every perfectly lit shot of Zegler smiling beneath the stage lights. It might not have been earned.
This looks like the
It might have
theater
been
I was
engineered.
at this weekend.
And what was
It was
allegedly
like me, my
uncovered
kids,
next
and a few
makes
other
that
little families in
possibility
there, but the place
even
was
harder
basically
to
empty.
ignore.
Not a good omen, shall we say.
Sources tied to the production say a confidential memo began making the rounds the day before opening night. Its content, if true, chilling. The memo allegedly urged everyone involved, cast, crew, even backstage assistants, to participate in scheduled applause during specific emotional beats of the show. Even more revealing, it instructed staff to initiate standing ovations during the curtain call. not as
She
a
should have watched
celebration,
it a few times,
but as a
and
strategy
maybe became more
to
familiar
generate
with
the
the
kind
story.
of energy that
and
looks
before the
good in
script went
press photos.
through such a dramatic
Translation.
change that
The
it
standing
sounds like she
ovation
had a
wasn't
part in,
spontaneous.
Disney, and
It was
accomplished with
planned.
that. Obviously, it was
Carefully.
their production.
The memo
You should
emphasized the
have,
need for a
watched it a little
unified
closely and
emotional
maybe stayed a
display
little
from
closer
everyone
to the
involved,
original
especially with
blockbuster,
media eyes
wonderful
glued
story
to the
written
production.
by
Because
whoever
whether
it
they
was,
said it or
but
not,
produced by Disney.
Rachel Zegler's presence was viewed as a risk, and the only way to control that risk was with a second performance, not on stage, but in the audience. And then it gets more unsettling. One insider claimed the memo didn't read like a suggestion. It was a directive. We were told they'd notice if we didn't join in, the source said. No gaps in the footage. It had to look packed. It had to sound loud. It had to feel like love. But if the love has to be faked, was there ever any love at all? Or was the emotional climax of the evening just another scripted scene? As the days passed, more whispers began leaking out from behind the curtain, and none of them painted a flattering picture. Several crew members say the atmosphere before opening night was tense, overly controlled, even performative. One tech assistant admitted there was a quiet but constant pressure to keep things upbeat, even when the vibe didn't match. There were people on the team who didn't even believe in the production, one said. But that didn't matter. The story had already been decided. We weren't just putting on a show, we were running interference. Others described how some team members were assigned to monitor the audience during previews. Their job? Track who stood, who clapped, when they did it, and report it back to PR. Even more concerning? Some say Rachel herself was briefed before the show, not just on her lines, but on how to react if the crowd didn't. If the room fell flat, she had cues: smile through it, wave if needed, don't let the silence show. But none of it eased the tension behind the scenes. Several cast members reportedly felt deeply uncomfortable faking joy, especially when the real audience didn't seem to match what they were told to reflect. It felt fake, said one, like we were clapping for the cameras, not the performance. And that unease ran deeper than just awkward applause, because many had already seen what happened to people who didn't play along, and nobody wanted to be next. Because at the end of the day, this wasn't just about one show. This was about an image unraveling and a team doing everything they could to stitch it back together. Because behind the applause, the costumes, and the curtain calls, this wasn't really about Evita. It was about optics. It was about controlling the narrative. It was about convincing the public, and maybe even convincing Rachel herself, that everything was still okay. But the truth? It wasn't. What we saw on stage may have looked like a comeback, but backstage, the cracks were impossible to ignore. This wasn't the story of a star rising again. It was the story of a system trying desperately to keep the illusion alive, even if that meant scripting reactions, silencing doubts, and asking everyone in the room to clap for something they didn't believe in. And maybe that's the real tragedy here. Because Rachel Zegler had talent. She had the spotlight. She had the chance to let the work speak for itself. But when the applause becomes a marketing tool, when authenticity is replaced with rehearsal, when everyone in the room is performing, even the people in the seats, you have to ask, was it ever about the art at all? Now, in the aftermath, fans aren't asking, was the show good? They're asking, was any of it even real? That's not just a PR problem. That's a trust problem. And in this era, where audiences can dissect every frame, rewind every moment, and challenge every narrative, once that trust is broken, there's no amount of applause that can fix it. Whether Rachel Zegler gets a true second chance is still up in the air. But this time, if she wants people to believe the comeback, it can't be choreographed. It can't be staged. It has to be real. And if there's anything left to salvage, she'll have to do it without a memo telling people when to clap. If you've made it this far, we want to hear what you think. Was the standing ovation real? Was it all just strategy? Or is the truth somewhere in between? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. If you found this video eye-opening, give it a like to help more people find it. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives, breakdowns, and stories the mainstream won't tell you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.